Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And in my opinion, when it comes to Terence Crawford, he finds a way to lose if he keeps messing around over here in the States, trying to chase after Jermell Charlo, Tim Tszyu, Canelo Alvarez, and hoping fights with those guys, do huge pay-per-view numbers so he can make some big money before he retires. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Terence Crawford deserves to pick and choose the fights he wants. But at the end of the day, if we really understand what Crawford is asking for, he's not necessarily asking for Canelo. He's not necessarily asking for Jermell Charlo, Tim Tszyu. He's not really worried about those names, okay? Because as far as legacy and Crawford's concerned, his legacy is cemented. Well, Crawford is calling out those names because of the money. But there's one place that he can go, and I am seeing it more and more as a destination. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've been following the channel, you know I lived in Saudi before, right? So when I talk about things about Saudi Arabia, I'm not an expert, but I lived there. And in my experience, if you're just out there doing what you're supposed to do, you're all right. And that comes with anything. You over here stateside, man, hey, man, conduct yourself with like you got some sense. Stay away from the nonsense, and everything will be all right. But the one thing about Saudi that even I noticed when I was there is there is a lot of money in that country. And in my opinion, Terence Crawford, he needs to be paying attention to what just happened with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Now we know Joshua, no matter where he goes, who he fights, Joshua is making 20, 25, 30 million, okay? Joshua comes to Saudi, he makes even more. My understanding in that fight with Usyk, that second fight with Usyk, Joshua made like $80 million. Okay, so what I'm saying is, there's money out there. Now, if Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder can go out there like they did, and it's already been announced, they signed a 3-fight deal. Wilder and AJ fight on December 23rd, separate fights. Wilder's fighting Parker, Joshua's fighting Waller. That's the first fight for each of them. Then next year, there'll be 2 fights where they will face each other in the first fight and then the rematch. Okay, so that's 3 fights. Now, my understanding, okay, is the 3-fight deal for Wilder is like $140 million. Now, you hear a lot of numbers thrown out there, but what I'll say is it's over 100 million, right? Because you got to take the information you get off the internet with a grain of salt. Because I haven't seen the contracts. Most of these people posting stuff haven't seen the contracts, but when you get some guys who are close to the source, and I think they're a bit closer. So bottom line is, I feel it's safe to assume it's easily over 100 million. So Deontay Wilder, for the 3-fight deal that he signed with the Saudis, he would have made over 100 million, closer to like 140, maybe 150, right? But 100 million for sure. It's a lot of dough in less than a year. So for Terence Crawford, why not go on out there? Because we know Crawford has the connections, all right? So we can sit here and play like Terence Crawford doesn't have the connections out there in Saudi Arabia. Terence Crawford has the connections in Saudi Arabia. So I don't care what y'all say, because there was a time, and I'm gonna show y'all something. This is hold on, let me show y'all something here. Okay, let me just go here, window capture. Let me show you right here. Where is it? Right here. Okay, this right here is a thumbnail for a video I did like over a year ago. And this was just talking about how in 2021, Bob Arum said Kinahan was the advisor to Terence Crawford, okay? So that we know is a fact, is Crawford at one point in time was being advised, supposedly advised by Kinahan. Does that mean Crawford was talking directly to him? No. We know that, to me, a lot of this stuff is just things done on paper. because secret society shit going on here. Bob Arum paying advising fees, consultant fees to the Irish mob. Yeah, sure. Terence Crawford had nothing to do with that crookedness. But we get it, Bob. We know exactly what you were doing. But that being said, the bottom line is, Terence Crawford, he said he knows people out there. He didn't say nothing about the mob or nothing crazy. But he still has people, or he didn't burn bridges, you know what I mean? For instance, Amir Abdallah. You think Terence Crawford and him don't know each other? Amir Abdallah knows a lot of people. He's a big-time kickboxing champion. He knows a lot of people in combat sports, okay? So why wouldn't he know Terence Crawford? That's not a bad thing. So what I'm getting at is, for Terence Crawford in the position he's in right now, I don't, and for him being willing to go and strike a deal with BLK Prime, go over there and work with PBC, why not go over there and work something out with the Saudis? Man, get out this country. Go on over there. Get your money, man. And I have no doubt Terence Crawford and his profile and his accomplishments, that he can go sign himself a little 3-4 fight deal for $200 million. I really do believe that. 5-fight deal for $200 million. I have no doubt Terence Crawford can do that. But it's really on him and if he wants to do that. But the thing with the Saudis is they don't have a problem paying him. They don't have a problem paying that money. The Saudis, they're looking to grow sports as a whole in the country. But what I'm noticing is a bit of a trend is if they're going to put on an event, they're not going to do like the Zone and pick up and pay somebody, let's say like Daniel Jacobs, right? And pay him to fight a top 10 guy on the Zone. Tevin Farmer, who really wasn't, that great, but he was a champion, and have him go fight somebody that no one really knows, or even when he fought a Jojo Diaz. People don't really know those names. But you see Terence Crawford's name, they're going to want him to fight someone else that's well known. Look at what he did, AJ and Ruiz. People knew both of them, especially AJ. Look at Fury and Usyk. People knew him. Look at Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. People knew him. Huge profiles. So it's a lot of attention. They want the fights that are going to bring a lot of attention. They're not just going to go out there and bring anybody over there to fight anybody. That's not what they're doing. They want the biggest names, the biggest fights. And if they can lock in 2, 3, 4, 5 fight deals with these guys, that's what they want. Because now they're guaranteed to get the attention on the kingdom. And it's going to be the right attention that they want. And these fighters just have to make a decision. Do I want to sit there, man, and, the next 2 years or whatever time schedule they put me on? Because believe you me, it's an iron-fisted dictatorship out there. You're not going to the Saudis and saying, hey, no problem, sir. Happily give you 5 fights. But let's spread that out over the course of 5 years. Man, all you hear, someone will come out that back room with that black hood on, with the 2 eyeballs cut out, and you'll hear someone shout, off with his head, or off with his tongue. They don't want to hear you talking that. Man, you better get your shit together and stop taking it to the stupid. No, you go out there and you listen to what they have to say. They listen to you, what your goals are, your objectives, and then they say, well, this is our plan. This is what we offer you. And you can come back and have a discussion, and at the end of the day, they decide on what they feel is best for them. And they're going to take care of the fighter because, let me tell you something. If they put you on a rigorous fighting schedule, they're not going to put you on 4 or 5 fights a year. They're being very fair and very methodical in how they're approaching these fighters. Very, very fair. But I think 3 fights a year is the sweet spot. And if you look at it, historically, 3 fights a year is just about what a fighter, an active fighter, a champion, that's about where they want to be. 2 fights a year is the bare minimum, but really 3 fights a year is the sweet spot. Got to be out there, man, keeping active, keeping his name out there, defending the title. And that's how everybody stays happy, the sanctioning bodies, secret society, key decision makers behind the scene, and that fly on the wall. All right? So, no, I'm not taking it to the stupid. I'm telling y'all it's facts. But you say, okay, well, who can Terence Crawford go out there? They lock him in for a 3 to 5 fight deal. You're saying that they want big names. Okay, they got Crawford. who else are they going to get to come over there and sign? You know, whether it's 5 different fighters, 3 different fighters to fight Crawford. Like, how's this going to work? You can't just have Crawford signed to you and not have anyone for him to fight. Well, that's what makes it interesting. That's why if it was me, I would put together a plan of action, and I would present it to him. I'd have my price and everything in there. I look at what Anthony Joshua made, what everybody's making for one fight, or I'd understand their profiles and how they performed historically with pay-per-view numbers and fight purses. And then I'll come there and look, here, well, this is me, this is my profile, this is what I've done, this is what I've got paid, this is what I currently am right now, 2-time undisputed, you know what I mean, the full belt era, and pound for pound, recognized as pound for pound the best boxer today. And this is what I like to do. I'll come out here, work with y'all, 3 to 5 fights, and these are the guys. I've already talked to them, and everyone's ready to do business. The Saudis will respect that. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you from somebody who comes from a leadership position, I'm telling you, when you bring me a plan, and I don't have to create it from scratch, it's just a matter of something for me to work with, and then I can start kind of, you know, tweaking and trimming it and kind of, you know, changing it up a little bit to get it to where this blurred plan, right, which all these ideas, right, then I can come down and start to clean it up a bit to where it becomes more attractive, not just for me, but for you as well. And then we go back and forth a few times, try to make it a win-win as we collaborate. And I think that's what Terence Crawford should do. He doesn't have a lot of time left in boxing. You know, he doesn't want to be around here fighting. You know, they already see him as an alien because of just what he's able to do in the ring. But I mean, he don't want to be a b-hop. When now you hang around too long and start, you know, thinking your shit don't stink, and then you get clobbered and land outside the ring. And now you laying on the ground like one of them goddamn UFOs that been landing out there in Vegas for the last couple of years. So, and prove to everyone that you're not an alien. Man, his blood not green. Ain't nothing yellow coming out of his ass. He bleeding just like the regular blood like the rest of us, bruised up like the rest of us. Even though Hopkins does look like a goddamn alien with that cashew-shaped head of his. But that being said, that's what I think Terence Crawford should do, man. And again, I'm just having a conversation. I mean, the people out there, you tell me what you think he should do. We know one thing about him. He's going to do what he wants. He don't really care what nobody says as far as he's concerned, and he has every right to be concerned. He is very successful. He's taking his family. You're talking about taking your family a step further than your family brought you. That's success. Crawford gone. He's far surpassed that. Even for me, I've taken my family a step further than my dad brought us. But there's a lot more work to do, and I recognize that. But for Terence Crawford, man, you know, any fighter who gets to the point to where they're at, you know what I mean, I want to see him make money. And right now, let me tell y'all, for people who like, nah, he shouldn't go over there. Look, man, when is another opportunity like this going to present itself to these guys? When you get into a business, man, sometimes businesses don't last that long. But if you can get into a business for 1 year and make up $2, $3 million, you've won. Who cares if your business didn't last 10 years? You got in there, man, and you made, you hit the jackpot. Business for 3 to 5 years, and you know you made a few million, you won. So you can't sit there, man, and expect it to continue forever. This doesn't always work that way. And for Terence Crawford, I just think all these fighters, you look at what's going on with Saudi, I just think at some point in time, something's going to come down to shake up what it is that they got bubbling up over there. I truly feel there's a lot of people out here outside of the secret society, outside of those key decision makers in boxing and other flies on the wall who don't want the Saudis to be successful in sports because they feel they're just simply sports washing and not dealing with the human rights issues. And they're going to sit there, man, and who knows, they may try to put some kind of, you know, tariff or tax or some craziness on fighters who are going out there making that Saudi money. They're going to find a way to stop things if it gets enough attention. But I'm going to tell you right now, in the small ball sports world, them people already started, man. Guys out there want to play tennis and golf, they already start telling them, you go over there, man, any endorsement deals and all that, it's gone. You lose it. Don't come back over here trying to get back with the PGA or get back with the golf league, you know what I mean, and tennis and all that. Don't come over here thinking that you're going to be in Wimbledon. Like, they don't forget the Masters tournament, forget Wimbledon. It's over for y'all. So the small ball sports world has already been affected, but some have still gone. because of the amount of money they're putting up for tournaments, man. And what they're paying these athletes. You look at the basketball players, soccer players, cricket, race car, man, race car driving. I'm telling you, that's why I'm very interested to see in 1-2 years what the hell Saudi gonna look like when it comes to sports. No one can compete with them. And you heard Bob Arum, old man Arum, came out there and said, "We control most of the money in boxing. Why would we send Shakir over to fight on PBC? We control the money. We've got all the money over here. What are you talking about? Shakir needs to cross the street to PBC. Well, we got all the money. The Saudis have the money. We've got the money." Oh no, Bob Arum, you were right when you said it the first time. Not the Saudis. We. Oh yeah, we know what you about, Bob Arum. We know you're part of that secret society. Hood Champions on the case. Y'all keep cool, leave your comments below. In all seriousness, I think Crawford, if he wants to retire, but make a whole lot of dough, nobody wants to cooperate, nobody wants to support you stateside, you getting jerked left and right, my man, go on over to the Saudis. Trust me, these guys who won't fight you, when some Saudis offer them a flat 10, 15 million, something they'll never get here, or they'll come over there and give you your fight. You'll even get Tim Tszyu out of Australia. He'll come jump out of that marsupial's pouch and hop his ass on over to Saudi Arabia. He'll fight you. Jamel Charlo, he'll come on up out the hood. He'll come on up out the lion's den and, limp his ass on over there to Saudi and fight you. They give him a little 15 million. Anybody Terence Crawford wants to fight, if he can get them Saudis to get behind him, they can pull him over there. One by one. Chop, limb by limb, chop them down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep cool, I'm in the breeze.